Hello guys, welcome back to Being Mrs. Fraser. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for being here. In today's video, we just kind of have a lot of things to do. I had a few things on my to-do list that I just wanted to tackle. And so I thought I would come on here and share it with you to give you a little bit of motivation for your own day. So we're obviously starting off here in the bedroom. I just wanted to get our sheets washed the other day when I came in and started cleaning. I just wanted to kind of finish up the cleaning in here. So, and then while the sheets are being washed, I am going to go ahead and iron on like a hem onto these curtains. So these curtains, I love these curtains. We have had them in our house before, and they are all in this house all over. They're fairly affordable off of Amazon. I think I paid like $30 for them. They're probably more like $35, $40 by now, you know, with inflation and all the things. So, but anyway, I was going to go ahead and get these hemmed up. Your girl doesn't have an ironing board, so I'm going to make do with what I have and use my nightstand. And so I was just going to go ahead and pull it out here. When I went to move this nightstand, it was so embarrassing. I should have showed you guys because I know I'm not the only one, and I like to keep it real around here, but I don't know what the last time I moved this nightstand was, and there was a bunch of things behind this nightstand just living there, hanging out. So that's what I was doing. If you're wondering why I was like laying on the nightstand, yeah, because I was trying to figure out what the heck was living back there. Was it just cat hair? Was it what was it? So anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead. I did want to protect the top of my nightstand here, and I just laid out a towel. I've seen my mom do this many times. My mom never had an ironing board. She would just like lay a towel out and iron on top of it, and to protect whatever surface she was using to iron with. And what's actually funny is this is actually her iron. This iron is so old, you guys. It's older than me, and I'm almost 40, so and it's still going strong. They just don't make things like they used to, you know. But anyway, so like I said, I did want to get a hem on these curtains. I feel like they are super long. However, I didn't want to order them shorter because then it seems that they would be too short. So I would prefer to get them longer and then do something super simple like this to hem them. So this is definitely a great option if you don't have a sewing machine, which I no longer do. When we moved, we donated so many things, and one of the things I donated was my sewing machine, and I 1000% regret it now, but you live and you learn. What do you do? And so instead of going out and spending $100 on a halfway decent sewing machine, I spent a couple bucks on this hem tape. And again, it's super easy. I just kind of started by ironing up, measuring where I kind of wanted the curtains to hang, and then ironing that hem up, and then going in and applying that little tape. So that tape has like basically like a glue on each side of it. It's like double-sided tape almost. And then the heat activates that glue to help hold the hem in place. So once it is in place and it is basically cured, it is good to go. You can wash it and everything else, and it stays forever, pretty much. So I did use some of the heavier duty hem tape. I just ordered it on Amazon. It was the cheapest place, but I know like Hobby Lobby has it. Michael's probably has it, especially now that they kind of merged with Joann Fabrics. I would assume that they would have it too. You might even be able to get it at your local Walmart. I don't know, but it's like I said, it's super cheap and way more affordable than going out and buying a new sewing machine. So I did go ahead and get these hemmed up. I actually just rolled the original hem up into the hem that I was creating. I thought that was kind of the easiest route, and then I don't know. I was a little afraid to like fully cut the fabric and everything. I didn't want to ruin it in that sense. So yeah. So if you're going to do this though, definitely make sure you are making sure that that fabric can be ironed. I know not all fabrics you can use an iron on. And then because you are using about a medium heat on your iron, I don't know the exact temperature, it just said medium. And so I kind of did a little past medium on my iron. So I just kind of did it as best as I could. Like I said, honestly, if I ruined them, I ruined them. They're fairly affordable curtains. And yeah, so I knew I kind of figured I wouldn't ruin them though. And so it was super simple, super easy project. I just thought it was super easy to go about it this route. So if you're looking to shorten your curtains, definitely check this out, or check out this process for your own curtains. So I know in our dining room, I kind of need to do those as well. There in our bedroom here, we have the board that goes around the top of the crown molding. And so these curtains are, like I said, they just didn't go all the way to the ceiling like I would prefer them to. We do have 8-foot ceilings. So yeah, so that's why they were just a little bit long. But anyway, so as you can see, I did one and not the other. I didn't film the other one, but I kind of didn't get it quite as short as I would like, but it works. It's way better than what it was. And then this is the product that I used. If you are interested, I will definitely link that for you guys in my Amazon storefront. And then while I'm at it in the bedroom here, I did want to go ahead and dust the rest of the furniture that I wasn't able to get dusted the other day. This furniture, I have always complained about this, even in our old house, because we've had this furniture for years. I mean, we're talking probably, I don't know, 15 years or so. And I absolutely love the color of it, but it shows the dust so bad. Now, this house does not get near as dusty as our old house. Like, I would literally dust, and I swear in a couple days, it looked like I didn't even do anything. Honestly, we probably should have cleaned our ducts out. That probably would have helped. And I'm going to assume, I know you're not supposed to assume, but I'm going to assume that the ducts in our current house were cleaned out somewhat recently, because like I said, the dust just doesn't build up here like it did in our old house. So if you're noticing a lot of dust on your furniture, or, you know, you're kind of having more sneezing or anything like that, definitely check your ducts and maybe get them cleaned out. I don't think it's terribly expensive. I really don't know. I've never paid for that to be done. But definitely check it out if you are noticing a lot more dust and stuff building up on your furniture, because I know it's not good for your health, or your lungs and stuff to breathe all that in. So, especially if you're one of those that have like severe allergies and stuff, and if you have pets, it'll definitely help, just with breathing and cleaning. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get everything kind of wiped down and dusted. I need to figure out a different situation for the top of this dresser though. Right now we just have like an old pillowcase sitting on it to keep the TV from scratching it, but I kind of want to hang the TV, but I'm still on I want to change our bedroom. I want to decorate it. Oh, and my daughter is off to work, so kisses for mom. But anyway, I think I have decided what color I want to paint it. I need to find the right bedding. I have something in mind. So you guys, if you guys see something like this, I'm going to describe it to you. If you see something like this out and about, can you let me know where you've seen it? So in my mind, I have like this idea of like a muslin comforter with or without lace on it is fine around the edges. I don't want it to be like delicate lace. I want it to be more of like the the cotton fabric kind of lace, if you understand what I mean. And then I want it to be like a white or ivory or a creamy color base, and then I want like tiny little like rusty orange colored, or like a rusty red, orange, like a burnt orange, colored little flowers on them. Just little tiny ones, nothing big or anything like that, just little tiny rusty colored flowers. I just think it would be really cute. I feel like I've seen it somewhere. I just don't know where I saw it at. And so it's been like living rent-free in my head. And so I think that's what I want to go with. And then I think I'm going to paint the room that rusty color. So I think that's what I want to do. I think I finally settled on that. So if you guys are out and about again, like other Home Goods, JCPenney's, or, you know, anywhere, and you see something like that, can you please let me know? Because I do not remember where I saw this at. I feel like it was probably like a Home Goods TJ Maxx, but I really don't know. It could have been online for all I know. It could have been on TikTok. Who really knows where I saw it? But I loved it, and I should have took a screenshot of it if it was on my phone. I don't know. But I loved it, and it, like I said, it's been living rent-free in my head, and so I really want to get our room done and finished, and just get it painted and just feeling a little bit more finished, you know what I mean? So, and I know I've been promising doing my bedroom, but I just don't want to settle on something unless I am 100% sure that that's what I want to do. I don't like painting a lot, and I swear every time I paint, I get hurt in some sort of way. If you saw in the living room, I tripped over the shelving and fell in our old house. I literally fell off of a 2-step ladder, and in our hallway. So, you know, in a hallway, there's not a lot of room to fall, and I fell into the wall and paint went everywhere. It was a whole situation. So your girl just doesn't like to paint a whole lot. So if I can refrain from doing so, I would rather go that route. So I would rather make sure that I know what I'm doing, and that way I can keep it for a little while. Next up, we're going to go ahead and start some bread. So you guys have been coming along on this new bread journey with me, and we've been making all the things, whether it's bagels or hoagies or cinnamon rolls. We made Texas Roadhouse rolls in the last video I did. Those were absolutely delicious. Oh my gosh, I've made them actually since then, and I actually remembered to butter the tops of them, and it just made it taste even more like the Texas Roadhouse rolls. Oh, they were so good. So if you haven't made them yet, definitely go check out my last video and get them and get the ingredients and make it. Absolutely delicious. I promise you, they are so good. But anyway, so as I said, we're on a bread journey. We're on a journey of kind of making things. I am on a journey of making things as much as possible from scratch. And I've been using my bread machine a lot. So I really love using the bread machine because, one, your girl has carpal tunnel, so it really saves on my hands from having to do any kneading or anything like that. I haven't really noticed any problems with anything that I've, any pain or anything like that. Just adding the ingredients to the bread machine, letting the bread machine do all the hard work. And then I do have to roll it out, some of the items and stuff that I've made, but I haven't noticed any issues with my hands when it's something like that. So now I will say, when I make tortillas, your girl's hands hurt for quite a few days afterwards. It feels like they're like bruised almost. I don't know. It's a thing. It's weird. But so I'm gonna go ahead and get all them ingredients in all of the ingredients. Oh my goodness. Typical Tammy, can't talk. Into the bread machine. And then while that is on the dough setting, which takes about 90 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of cleaning done here in the kitchen. Now, if you saw me, I was just checking to make sure that the dough was coming together properly. Sometimes your ingredients aren't exact measurements, and you don't want too sticky of a dough, and you don't want too wet of a dough. I just kind of like to watch it a little bit to make sure that is mixing and coming together well within the machine. But yeah, so if you are looking for that recipe, I will leave the link below. It is absolutely delicious. Did I tell you what I was even making? It's bread. I'm just making a white sandwich bread. I know that you can make this and cook this and everything within the bread machine. You can do all of the steps and just let it bake in your bread machine. However, I don't know what it is. I just don't like the size of the bread. And then when I cut it, it's difficult and it's a lot more dense made in the bread machine. And so I've just been making the dough in the machine, and then later on I will take it out and actually bake it in the oven. So once I get done with the dishes, though, I will share that next step of this sandwich bread. Did I say that yet? We're making sandwich bread, white sandwich bread. I'll share the rest here in just a little bit. You guys, I have to tell you, it has been so hot these past couple days. I literally was just sitting on the computer editing, and my computer notified me that we are in an extreme heat warning again. Not just an advisory, we are literally in a heat warning. Yesterday, I don't think my air conditioning even turned off. It was so hot here. I know over on the Gulf Coast, the Tampa reached 100 degrees, which was like a historical thing. And it's been just so hot over here on our side, on the Atlantic side. And it's just so crazy, you guys, how hot it's been. But real quick, I wanted to put this mirror up behind the kitchen sink. I love this mirror. I've had this mirror since our old house. It's been sitting under our bed for so long, you guys. It was so grody and dirty, and you could tell the cats have been walking on it because there was little footsteps in the dust under it, or on it, and all the things. So I wanted to get it out. I wanted to put something behind my sink, just to kind of give it a little bit more character. You guys know I've tried being a minimalist, but your girl just isn't. I love all the decor, all the things, and I want to add all of it to my home. I want my home to feel just super cozy and comfy, and yeah, so I feel like my sink area was a little bit bland, and so I was going to go ahead and hang this up. So a little tip from Tammy, and I thought I filmed it, but I guess I didn't. The way what you just saw me do, I was holding the mirror up onto the ceiling where I wanted it to hang, because what I had done, I put a little bit of colored toothpaste. So like my toothpaste is white, but my kids' toothpaste is green, and so I used a little bit of their toothpaste and I dabbed it on the little eye hooks, and that way when I held it up to the ceiling, it kind of marked where I wanted it to hang. So then I had my husband come in. In reality, hindsight's 2020, but or whatever that saying is, I probably would have tore out these soffits had I known that there was nothing in them when we remodeled our kitchen. However, I didn't know, and so it is what it is. They're there now, and anyway, they're very easy to screw into. There is wood up there, but it's basically just drywall. And so I had my husband screw these eye hooks in just to make sure. And, you're supposed to measure twice, cut once, the whole thing there. Well, when I was looking at where it was at, I was like, okay, that doesn't look quite correct at the same distance. So I did have him remeasure that. But anyway, they were fine. And so we went ahead and got it hung up. And then somehow it was a little bit far out away from the wall. It was hitting the sink and everything. And then I backed up and looked at it and realized I can't believe I just realized this, 2.5 years after remodeling our kitchen, the guys that installed our countertops, not only did I just find that they cracked my counters, and that's why they installed my sink when I didn't think they were supposed to install the sink. I thought they were just being nice. No. They definitely installed the sink to cover up the crack in the granite, and they installed it about a 1/2 inch off. So, needless to say, we went through hanging that mirror up behind there, and I ended up taking it down because I couldn't handle it being crooked and not centered and lined up with the cabinets. But the sink doesn't line up with the cabinets, the faucet. It's a whole ordeal. So I guess there's probably nothing I can do about it now, but you live and you learn. So the next thing I wanted to do, also moving on, so I did not hang the mirror. I did leave the eye hooks just in case I decide to hang plants or something like that. That would be okay if they weren't symmetrical. But next up, I did want to go ahead and hang up my cast iron. I was just storing this in my oven, but it got really old taking it in and out of the oven every time we used it. Of course, it's from Buc-ee's. Your girl loves Buc-ee's. But anyway, I wanted to get that hung up and out of the way. So I also had my hubby helping me with that. All while we were getting this bread ready to go in the oven. So I am using some glass loaf pans. It's been a minute since I've used them, so I did want to go ahead and wash them out. And then I just prepped them with some like Pam spray, some oil spray. But you could totally use Crisco with some flour, or you can even put it in parchment paper, whatever works easiest for you. But anyway, I just went ahead, sprayed them down with some oil. I'm going to dump the loaf or the dough out on the counter and divide that, flatten it up, and then make sure all the air is pressed out of that dough, and then re-roll it and wrap it and let it basically rise again in the glass pans. Another tip from Tammy. You guys are getting so many tips today. Another tip from Tammy, though, if your house is a little bit cold and your dough is not rising, put it in the oven and turn the light on. And if that still doesn't work, you could definitely put it on like the lowest setting. If you can do 150 degrees or something like that, and put it in your oven and just let it warm and come to, rise again and double in size, that will help. So anyway, as you can see, we skipped a little bit of the steps. I let them rise for another 30 minutes, and then I did go ahead and bake them. I decided to put butter on the top. I probably should have used a stick right out of the fridge because it was a little bit, it melted a lot and kind of squished the top down. But you guys, look at this bread. Like how squishy it is and fluffy, and it's so delicious. I was so impressed. My husband told me I was never allowed to buy store-bought bread again. So anyway, now we're going to go ahead and move on to the laundry hacks for the day. I told you guys in a recent video that I would share with you how I make my own scent beads. So I thought I would go ahead and share that in today's video. I do also scent my dryer balls. I just get a natural scent from Nature's Garden. It's a fragrance oil. And so I like to put them in bottles with little droppers to scent my dryer balls. It's so much easier that way, in my opinion. You could take these, it's kind of like a Buff City dupe. If you know what Buff City is, they will scent your dryer balls for you. Same concept. I am using the Narcissist dupe scent. Yeah, so if you're interested in the scent, I'll make sure that I link it down below for you guys. It is an exact replica of the scent. It smells absolutely amazing, and having this oil on your dryer balls just kind of gives that extra added scent and smell to your clothing after you put them in the dryer. But you're going to want to go ahead, after you do scent the dryer balls, you definitely want to let them sit for a good 24 to 48 hours before you use them, or you're going to end up with some oil spots on your clothes. And then to go with the dryer balls, I am making some natural scent beads. I am using a 2-to-1 ratio with Epsom salt and baking soda. So you're going to use a cup of Epsom salt to half a cup of baking soda. What I do is I triple or so the amount that I use, so that way I have enough for basically a couple months. I put the Epsom salt in the container, and you're going to want to use a container that is completely airtight, and I add the fragrance oil right to that container basically until I feel like it has enough scent. Now you can use essential oils or anything like that if that is the scent that you would like. I just like using this fragrance oil, the same Narcissist scent, basically the Buff City dupe, and I add that oil right into the Epsom salt, and then I give it a good old mix, and then I go in and add my baking soda and give that a good old mix as well. So like I said, this entire thing, I mean, I use very little. I have a little bit of a scoop here. I think it's probably about a tablespoon or so, and I add in anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons of this mixture right into my washer. I throw the laundry tab in, and then I toss some of these scent mixture in, and then I just let it wash on a normal setting. So I don't feel like it's as strong as the like Downy beads or Gain beads, but I do feel like it still gives a very fresh scent to your clothing. So definitely try it out. Let me know what you think. Anyway, guys, I hope today's video was helpful for you, and I hope that you all stay happy, healthy, and safe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.